Hey everyone, it's Miss MK with Boys and Girls Club. So today I wanted to show you an activity that can really help you build those engineering skills while also getting to play with some water. We're going to be testing a principle called buoyancy, which is an item's ability to float in a liquid, in which case we're using water. And we're going to be testing that by using some homemade boats. So let me show you what you're going to need. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a large bowler container, you're going to need some water, you're going to also need some aluminum foil and something to act as your weights. So what I've picked today are pennies because there's something that can be a little on the denser, heavier side that I know might be able to help me test my boat's ability to float or not. And getting a lot of those weights that are about the same size is actually probably going to be the best thing for you to test with. About the same size, about the same weight. Particularly like the same things, if you can get, multiple of the same things, like many pennies or unit cubes or washers, different things like that to act as your weights. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and take our aluminum foil. What I did was I cut them in about 3" by 3" squares, as you can see here. But of course you can use any measurement amount that you want, just so that you have the option to set your own perimeters for building. And what you're going to do now is you're going to think about the boats you may have seen before. Some may be really long, some might be really angular, some could be very tall or very short. Some could be kind of like in a triangle shape, in a square shape, maybe circular even. And think about the properties that those boats have. Do they have walls? Are they super dense or heavy? Are they incredibly light? Do they move with a motor? Different things like that that might make a difference in how you choose to build up your boat. So what I decided to do was fold in different corners on the insides of my boat, which also helps end up creating walls as I fold them in. And it turns into this cute little square boat that I'm going to experiment with today. So when I think about it, although aluminum foil is a metal, it's a very light metal, and as you can see, it's very thin. Also has very similar properties to paper, where it's easy to crumple up in that regard as well. And so because of this, I don't think that it's going to be too heavy to or be heavier enough than the water that I am testing it in. So I think by itself, this is going to float as long as there are no holes in it. Yes, and as we can see, there's nothing in my boat that's allowing it to take on water. It seems to be floating just fine. It's even moving around as it breezes through the wind. And so what I'm gonna try to do now is see if it'll still continue to float with the weights that I'm going to put in it. So I have about 30 or so pennies sitting right here in front of me. And one of the things that I'm also going to try and think of as well is what happens when I put just a bunch of them in my boat at once. It causes it to sink automatically because that's a lot of force and weight being dropped on my boat all at one time. So when you do this activity, think about where and how you're going to place the pennies in your boats as well, because that may actually make a difference. So if I'm doing this carefully, let's see how many of these my boat can take. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, at about 28 is when mine finally decided to sink because it was taking on water. But think about how long that lasted. Notice that I put all of those pennies kind of surrounding the sides as I put them in, causing it to balance out its surface area. I've already got a wide surface area with my square, but now I'm keeping the weight evenly distributed across all sides. So think about this when you're making your boats as well. Maybe try and make some of these with your friends and family and see whose boats can last the longest. But give it a shot and enjoy this cool activity. Have a good one, y'all.